Good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. I had me a good day. Still a few chores to do, but I'm sitting in good shape. Pretty happy with life in general. Hope you are as well. So I'm going to sing some songs, but maybe my friend Daniel Zapula will be joining me. And when he joins me, we're going to have a chat. And the chat we're going to have is about the Hopifiers. And the Hopifiers want to tell you dreams and stories that you wish were true. We have one lined up. So we will see if Brother Daniel joins. But in the meantime, how about I sing this song I've been trying to learn here? It's a beautiful song. Powerful song. All right, give it a try. What did you think I would do at this moment when you're standing before me with tears in your eyes, trying to tell me that you found you another and you just don't love me no more? What did you think I would say at this moment when I'm faced with the knowledge that you just don't love me? Would you think I would curse you or say things to hurt you? 'Cause you just don't love me no more. Do you think I could hate you or raise my hands to you? Now come on, you know me too well. How could I hurt you when, darling, I love you and you know I'd never hurt you? Oh no. What did you think I would give at this moment? If you'd stay, I'd subtract 20 years from my life. I'd fall down on my knees, kiss the ground that you walk on, if I could just hold you again. If I could just hold you. If I could just hold you. If I could just hold you again. Ooh, that was fun. All right. Let us go look for Brother Daniel. In search of Brother Daniel. There he is.
Who's clapping the hand? Who's clapping?
Hey, how you doing?
This is COVID. Who's clapping? Like, are you breaking the law?
No, Daniel. It's okay. Don't send the COVID police after me, my friend. How are you doing?
I am the COVID police. I'm doing good. I'm exhausted. I've been doing like meetings after meeting on Zooms. It's like,
really?
Wow, like so crazy today. Never had a Thursday this busy.
But is that right, eh?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Excellent.
But
excellent.
You look good. You look good in red. You look like you are ready to fight the bulls that come out from nowhere.
I am. I'm ready. So are we launching the Hopifiers today, Daniel?
I don't think we should launch it, but let's talk about it.
All right.
When we launch it, it has to be really like announced with drum rolls. Like this one is we're just having a conversation to see what the Hopifier is. A dream that is becoming, and then when we launch it provocatively. We launch it to provoke the forces.
I love it. Okay, let's focus on that dream. We share that dream, right? I've been thinking about it more. I think I can express it even a little clearer than I did before. But do you want to try it instead?
No, that's the idea. You just speak the dream more. Speak it up. Because you gotta, like, in the world I come from, like, you speak the dream out to the winds, to the four corners.
Yes.
You speak it up until it becomes clear. And as you talk about it, like maybe you need to just make a song about it, because as you do, it becomes clearer and clearer to the psyche, you see.
Okay. Well, let me try to just explain it. I don't have it in a song, but
just explaining to me. I am the person who I'm trying to understand. Just go for it.
Okay. And I think you and I share this same dream.
Yes.
And the dream is that we had briefly an omnivision where we could see every human being in the world. Amazing. Every human being in the world, right?
Yeah.
7.6 billion, 287. Oh, 8. No, Sarah didn't quite come into the world yet. She hasn't breathed her breath yet. So that's where we stop. Right there, we could see all of them. And all of them, black and white and red and brown and yellow and big and little and short and fat and skinny and different, think about different gods and wear different clothes and speak different tongues. But all of them, the thing they had in common is they're all human beings. We're human beings, always have been, always will be human beings. Now, there's been exceptions where haven't always been regarded as people, right, Daniel? That's a fact. 400, 500 years ago, I don't know how long ago, guys who looked a lot like me wrote things out that said guys like Daniel weren't people. Mm-hmm. And then a couple hundred years ago, guys who look a lot like me wrote things out that said our First Nations people, they're not people. They're maybe human beings if they become Christian, but they're not people. And maybe about 100 years ago, guys like me wrote stuff on paper and said women aren't people. Women are property. Women are they can't vote. The man decides. So guys like me wrote a lot of crazy ass shit. And in so doing, made a whole bunch of separations that don't really exist. We're all human beings, always will be, always have been. Mm-hmm. And so in this dream with all of these 7.6 billion human beings, they're all healthy. You look at them, they're healthy. Mm-hmm. They're all hopeful. In their eyes, it's hopeful. And they're all want to help. Matter of fact, on their lips, they have a word of help, a word of encouragement. And in their hands, they all have 3. For each child, there's 3 adults. That's the way population works out. There's a reason for that, Brother Daniel, because for each child, they have at least 3 adults who care for them, support them, want them to have good lives. So we've got what we called 3H humans. Humans that are healthy, humans that are hopeful, and humans that are helping to themselves and helping to others. Do you love that dream, Daniel?
That's really beautiful. I love it. Human who are healthy, hopeful, and helpful.
Yes. And then from there, the next thing, because we're telling stories, we're sharing dreams and we're sharing stories that people wish were true, that we wish were true, then the first story is going about the hunger part. Do you want to know?
Make it up.
Oh, I got it. Just hang on. I'm going to share my screen with you, man.
Okay. Yeah, you make it up. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just find this here. Chrome tab. There it is. I've called it Hoper Fire's Food for All. Okay. So now, let me get back to here so I can see you better. There we go. So you see my screen there. Have you ever met this Dr. Vandana Shiva?
Is that your uncle?
No. She's this Indian, like, I don't know, earth goddess. She knows everything about earth and the sanctity of the soul and the biodiversity and, those kind of things in terms of harmony in nature and harmony in human existence.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So her, Dr. Vandana Shiva, and this guy here, Dr. Zach Bush. You ever heard of this guy?
No.
Oh my goodness. This guy, what a story. He was kind of like a normal teenager, had his heart broken. And then he was going to be a mechanic. And then his auntie said, hey, I need some help. I'm a doula in the Philippines. I'm helping deliver babies in an orphanage. You come help me deliver babies. So he went there and delivered babies for I don't know how long. But what kind of life experience would that be to bring a whole bunch of babies into the world? That must I don't know what kind of, to see that miracle multiple times a day. Wow. That's, anyway, so he delivered babies for a period of time. Then he comes back to America, and he's a triple board certified. I'm not even sure what that means, but I think he became a doctor 3 times, it was mean. So he's a very, very smart man. So I think the common thing between Dr. Shiva and Dr. Bush is that they see everything in a holistic sense, everything in that we're stronger together, everything in you need the balance, everything that way, where our approaches, especially in agriculture, in human beings, is to divide and separate out these and label them different and call these ones good and these ones bad, or remove this one, or so anyways, they're very much holistic, that everything is needed to make it work. So these two are super smart. And so the story that I wish was true is that Dr. Shiva and Dr. Bush put their huge brains together and their huge differences in perspective that kind of create this amazing solution where they have a plan that everybody in the world gets fed. Everybody in the world has enough food. That would be pretty amazing. Now, let me bring this slide down here. I got a couple little stats for you to share with you.
Yeah.
All right. Get back to this window. There we go. So Google tells me that a human being needs about 1,460 pounds of food per year. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there are about 700 million humans that die each year from starvation. 700 million. Now, it is also true that we waste about 72 billion pounds of food per year. 72 billion pounds of food we waste per year. During the pandemic, when there was pigs that were ready to slaughter and chickens that were ready to slaughter, and there was no way to process them, all that food was destroyed. Milk, like hundreds of thousands, millions of gallons of milk gets destroyed every year to mess with the supply and demands and quotas and those kind of things. Yet when there's people that are starving to death and we're destroying food, right? So 72 billion pounds of food. So they came up with this, the feast program. So they freeze it, expedite it, allocate it, serve it, and thaw it. So this program to take that 72 billion pounds of food and make it into meals for the people that have none. And in doing so, they feed 493 million human beings. Then part 2, Dr. Shiva and Dr. Vandana, they use the SOB, the Soil Omniscient Viewer. Soil Omniscient Viewer, that's the term. And they analyze all the lands of the world and say which crop would be ideal in this surface, in this soil, which would be it, which would restore the soil, make the soil, increase the biodiversity of the soil, but produce very nutritious crops and lots of them. And then they optimize where plants get planted to produce this extra 29% yield in the world food production. And there we have more food than anybody needs. All the food that everyone needs, enough for everybody.
Oh, you just make so and like you just wow. So this which was it in the Global Mail that this where is that? Which magazine? Where do you find this article? It's
Daniel, I made this shit up. This is all a fabrication. This is stories that I want to tell that I wish was true.
That is really, really good. This is pretty good. Interesting. You know, I think everybody wishes this was true.
Yeah.
And that actually we can make hunger something history.
Right.
We can demolish it, and that our time, like we will not be wasting.
Right.
But we will be actually creating space where everybody have access and eat for the art, when they're hungry, and enough to water to drink when they're thirsty. You see, I don't know any human being in the face of the earth who actually wouldn't wish this was true. And I don't know if there's any politician in this whole earth who wouldn't wish that this wouldn't pass. Like everybody would seem like, on the surface, it seemed like any economist, politician, preachers, leaders, like everybody want to see that happen.
Definitely.
Why is it not happening?
Well,
is it because what you tell us why?
I don't know why it's not. I just think, I believe it is possible that we have all the resources, all the people, all the ideas on this planet right now to make that happen.
You have to get me up. That's good. That's good. That's keep on telling the world, because you got the microphone. Imagine that this is the last minute you were living. You give it to the world. That's
right.
Good.
Yeah. That's good. That's good, brother.
Yes.
So anyways, that's kind of here's what I want to be. I want to be the most optimistic person you have ever met. Yeah. Even if that optimism is more about dreams and stories than it is about reality. Maybe the reality will follow the dreams and stories. Maybe. I don't know. But there's no harm in being that optimistic and having people have a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith, a little bit of reason to smile. Do you agree?
I 100%. I actually do believe that you are right dead on. Now I got your point. Now I got what you're going. I think even everybody, the viewer, can understand where we are going.
Yes.
Where it is that the story is going. Like if we begin to think about it that way, maybe we begin to act differently, because there's something when the mind can actually be fixated on something, like when imagination is unleashed towards something that is optimal. I think our bodies follow. Like people tend to use our feet, go there with our feet. So this is a great dream cast. So this is pretty good. I think there is potential in this show to actually profoundly reshape how we think, and to give us information, that not just information in terms of like words, but inner formation. The definition of the word information, it actually means inner formation. So as we are looking to the future, as we focus on imagining what things could be, what the future could be, I think it transforms us. Because I nearly fell for the story, actually. I nearly fell for it, and I fell for what you say. Oh, Daniel is a fake news, but you see, stories are so powerful.
Yes,
and I think that's really, really good. That's helpful. So so let me know. So what's the next? So you will make the stories, right? You invent the story, because your imagination is so vivid. You make the story. I want to comment on it.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, that's good. I'm fine. I can make up a story and we can just expand it from there, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Now, hey, back up for just a second. You had said information is inner formation. Is that what you said? Correct. Tell me how that, let me explain that to me.
So if you go in the etymology of a word, information had nothing to do with news. Information had nothing to do with what comes from external sources. Information is in the form, like the formation of the inner man, the formation of the inner self. And I think sometimes when with use of words, when we use it all throughout the centuries, it means something entirely different. But maybe if we were to think about it again, what if we were to retrieve that word and to say there is something about that concept that should cause us to not be seeking for more stuff, more spoken stuff, reading more stuff, but no more knowledge there, but actually more transformation.
Mm. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Information as being a transformational, a transaction within.
Okay. Got it. So it's data, or it's I was going to say information, but that'd make it redundant.
Yeah.
It's what we're bringing in to make the formation of ourself whole. Is that kind of right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And so what is it that can trigger the formation of the inner man? Because the soul within you and each human is shy. It's hiding somewhere in the crevices, somewhere of our being, and we are not giving it enough platform. And the soul, if it can be scared away. But really, when we begin taking time to actually listen, distill a little bit, when we begin thinking and distilling information, chewing over them, something happens. We are no longer the same, and that is the same thing. I can tell you one thing though, from today on, some philosophers said, you can never swim twice in the same river, because the second time you go and into the same river, neither you nor the river is the same. Because that's the sense of it. Tomorrow, you are no longer the same man you were today, because you truly, part of you have died and something else has come alive. And that is it. I hope we get better, more communicant, more connected. We get more, I hope people become more present, not spaced out. I hope people become more, they listen more, they tune into each other more, and they tune into what is happening around them, and into what is present. Like for me, I help people become better through psycho-spiritual fitness courses and coaching. And part of it, I believe that there is, when we take the time to distill and to be present, then we can hear the cry of a baby. Then we can notice the hungry. Then we can see who is thirsty. For most part, we are so busy and caught up in the debt that we have to pay, in the problem we have to solve. And in the process, everybody become a problem to solve instead of listening to each other. Our power is in our connection.
Yeah, no, that makes really good sense, Daniel. And the power of presence as well, right? I was chatting with a young friend of mine, and she's agitated, and she's concerned, and she's anxious, and I get it. Those are the times we're having. But my advice for her was, hey, listen, you know what? Right now, right in this moment, are you in any pain? No. Do you have any? Are you hungry? Do you have to go to the bathroom? Is there? No, none of those things. So physically, you're all good. Okay. Whatever happened in the past happened in the past. Whatever's in the future has not happened. This very moment, breathe in, and I want you to have this kind of breath. Just in through your nose, out through your nose, as slow as you can make it, as deep as it's pleasurable. Have that breath and just enjoy that breath. And you will find, man, you're total and complete and full. Everything is beautiful in that moment. And you can just come back to that moment.
Wow. That is so great. It's integrative. I mean, integration is, by that I mean that body, mind, soul, and spirit, we are there together. I think when we are at that point, we experience wholeness, and we are immediately transformed. We are no longer the same.
I agree. I agree.
Experience that deep sense of wholeness, you are transformed and I am transformed. And that is that.
Now, is that the beauty of the human existence? Is that pleasure around the beauty of the human existence, or is that connection to God?
Because that's they're all, but at that point, you realize the divine is in you.
Okay.
And you are in the divine.
Right.
And that's the sense of, in him we live and move and have our being. That's again, in the scripture, we talk about the book of Acts. So, but the sense of being so integrative and so present, and to realize that there is power in that present moment. And then we become a healing agent. We each become healing agent. When you taste wholeness, you will
Yes.
no longer the same. And I think holiness and wholeness are exactly the same.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, Daniel, back me up for a second. When you were saying about telling the message out in the world, from where I come from, tell me what does that mean when you share the message?
I think that part of it is if you have a product, if you had a pill that can heal cancer, that's magical. You just disappeared.
I'm sorry. I get more tea. Carry on.
I thought you were doing like that was magical. So if you had the pill that will heal COVID,
yes,
that can cure cancer, what will you do? If you're the one in the world, you got the pill, you know it's a magical pill, it can heal people, and what will you do with it?
Oh.
And again, that means you will show up differently.
Sure.
So
yeah.
you will show up urgently.
Right.
There's something urgent about your presence.
Because there's something very real and sincere with what you have to offer that person, right? It's something that's going to make their life better. Yeah.
Right. So as you go along, you actually propagate it. So as you walk on the street, as you walk to the bank, as you walk to the field, as you go to sell, as you go along, then you dispense that information. So the world that I'm talking about, as saying you begin going to the people you know, the place that you work, and then you use whatever medium you have, the media, because sometimes there's enough media there that, like, whether it is in the regular news or in social media, it just is quite important that if somebody believes something like that you will do that. And then you give whatever. If you have the solution, you will go on the hilltop and do it.
Sure.
So that's what I mean, taking the message to the world, and always remembering that whenever you begin something like that, know that people are going to react to it.
Right.
People are going to be shocked, or people are going to say it's fake. But as you continue to share the same message of hope, then you begin seeing that you are gaining traction again and again and again and again and again. Because Rome was not built just in 2 days. It
right.
took, and so it will take that. Right now, it took me quite a long time, like 2 dozen years almost, with Bridges of Hope to be gaining some traction right now. I'm trying to fight poverty. I'm trying to actually put an end to poverty and trying to encourage people to participate, to exercise their heart. And I think in many ways that's the same thing, because for a long time we have been teased, and people have been talking, and so much that we don't believe each other. But when people see passion, it's not talk, it's connection.
You know, Daniel, I know you have created this experience or encouraged it or helped people to have this experience that changed their life, right? And that has to be very gratifying for you, right? That you made a difference. Recently, we had a school that Rotary has in Africa, or not Rotary has, the Rotary supports in Africa. They had a young lady from the first graduating class. Her name was Manis, or is Manis, not was. She's alive and doing well.
Yeah.
But anyways, her getting an education changed her life from being the property of some man to being a teacher, to going into North America to work on getting her doctorate, to having her family have food security, to encouraging her siblings to also take up education, to stop her father from beating her mother, right? Like that one thing changed that whole family and everybody they interact with, right? So one person had this life-affirming, life-changing experience, and it just kind of flows and flows and flows from there. Hey?
Wow, that's interesting. So, but picture this: so you help one person, and that person impacted the whole family.
Yes.
Now, as a doctor, they can actually help their community, and the whole world is better because of it.
Exactly.
And it just tells us that we can make a difference, one person at a time,
one person,
one human being at a time. So to bring a hopeful, helpful, and healthy message to a world that is in despair.
Love it.
You can do that. If you can do that, you can profoundly transform our world.
Well, that's you and me.
Why can't you do that? No, there's not why can't you do that? You are already doing it. Why can't I do that? I'm already doing it. But we are just doing it, exercising our heart. And when people see that we're doing it out of who we genuinely are, I mean, out of helpfulness, out of health, and out of hope, because the world is toying with despair.
Yes, very much so. And the despair of COVID, you have to be very, very diligent with looking after yourself to be strong enough that the COVID influence doesn't bother you anymore, right? If you can get your life perfect, COVID doesn't matter, right? But not everybody can do that right now. I understand. Like I'm in a very I'm very grateful for the position I'm in because I'm healthy. I have enough income flowing in, and I don't even have to leave home to work, right? So life is pretty easy, and the pace of life is a little slower. I've had time to read and study and learn and spend more time meeting folks like you, which is so much fun, right? Because we have the time to do that now, right? So
that's right.
Yeah, it's been great. And you know what? I got one more thing to add. And then remember when you were saying about some people are going to be naysayers and some people are going to be negative and some people are going to question your motivation, right? So sister Mavis Staples, here's what she would say. They'll talk about you, they'll vilify you, call you everything but child of God. Don't you mind what they saying? They gonna reap just what they sow. Y'all gonna reap just what you sow. I'm gonna reap just what I sow. That's what she would say.
I like that because it's provocative. It is telling you that any genuine human being who starts a good thing, like it just seems like it comes from out of the shadow into the light and the twilight of it. But here's one thing though. Anytime you risk, you take something on, you know there's going to be backlash. You need to welcome it. You don't fight it.
Right.
You welcome it because it is a saint maker. It makes you a better human being. And that is the whole thing, that for me, the world need not like me. The world need not accept me. The world need not actually agree with me. But here's one thing. I live for an audience of one. And that means I ought to be faithful to my maker, and I ought to be true to selfhood. And to do that, I need a hopeful message. I need to do and to be out of health. I need my presence to have something like to be helpful and to have an added value to somebody. You see?
Hey, Daniel, I have this friend. Her name is Iso Ogumbor. Okay. Very nice young lady. She's going to be on my show, 1,000 Ways to be a Champion of Children soon. When are you going to be on there again?
Well, I just like, is that like, I don't even know what is.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. You remember when you were on that show? Wait a minute. Let me back up. I'm getting carried away. Iso Ogumbor, what she says is she says that you should have your presence be a present to the person you're with. So my presence be a present to you, a gift to you, and you as well. Your presence with me is a gift to me, a present to me. I love that. That makes so much, if you could have every interaction that way, wow, wouldn't that be amazing, right?
Well, it would be so great. And but it's the thing is that you began your show by talking about how in ages past, the presence of somebody was not seen as a gift.
No, very much not. No.
And so when you do not receive people's presence as a gift, but as somebody to be toyed around with,
Yeah,
you end up creating so much pain and suffering in the world.
definitely.
We really learn to welcome each other's humanity. In doing that, we become hope-of-fires.
Hope-of-fires. Yes, sir. Excellent.
Well, you are not saying the fire part.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Tron, you have to say it with deep hope-of-fire.
Hope-of-fire.
Now you sound like an old preacher. That's what hope-of-fire.
Hallelujah. Hope-of-fires.
Glory. Come on now.
All right. You know what? My
Okay.
wife and I, have you ever read the book, A Course in Miracles?
No.
Oh, man. I heard about this book called A Course in Miracles. And basically, this psychologist in, I think, 1969, she kind of had sort of where she was visited by a spirit, a guide who is going to dictate to her a manuscript. And she's a psychiatrist, a Jewish psychiatrist. So she's not a big believer in God. Well, not a big believer in Jesus, anyways, if you're a Jewish. And then later had given up her Jewish faith. So she doesn't have much of a religious background. And she has another psychiatrist she works with in a university. And they don't get along that much, but, they're working together. So she gets this vision, this dream in which she should write down these words that are expressed to her. And she tells her coworker about this and says, I'm a little concerned. I've had this dream. And the coworker encouraged her, well, write it out, right? Do it. Maybe this is your muse. This is your spirit. Don't question it. Just do it. So every night she writes down what the muse tells her. And the next day her coworker goes and types it out because no computers in, right? Types it out into a manuscript. Anyways, this goes on for 7 years. And so this book is called A Course in Miracles. So I read about it recently. And then I talked to my wife, and my wife says, oh, yeah, we have that book. Never read it. Way too dense. So recently I got it out, and now I've been reading it, but I'm reading it only out loud. It's the only way I can make it make sense, right?
Yep.
So I read it out loud. My wife and I read it out to her, and then we have a conversation about what do you think they meant there? But anyways, a really, really dense book. But one thing that it has made me think of is why do I not have, why would I balk or resist the belief in a beneficent, superior power? Why would I not want that in my life? Why wouldn't I not want to be a creation of this amazing love, intelligence force that loves me and wants me to do well, wants me to have a good life? Why wouldn't I want that? From an intellectual standpoint, I'm not trying to say that this religion's better than that religion, but from a life enjoying strategy, why wouldn't you want that belief?
Silence.
Anyways, it was a reflection I had. That's all.
Yeah. I haven't seen that book at all. I'm going to look for it. And it's just a testimony. It's like a fiction, right?
She speaks as though God spoke to her. But then she also, or the preface of the book doesn't say this is perhaps a Christian, the Christian God. This could be, if your belief is Allah, it's Allah. If your belief is Buddha, it's Buddha. If your belief, whatever your belief is, this beneficent force in your life that created you, that's who spoke to you. So
it's okay. So like, I know when you say beneficent,
yes,
what do you like? You should unpack it for your people, your listener.
Okay.
Obviously, what should they take from the word beneficent?
Beneficent hey, hang on a second. Hey, Google, what does the word beneficent mean?
I can tell you.
Hang on. Okay. No, that's good, Google. Thank you. So Google here is saying that, kinding and acting in your best interest, wanting the best thing for you, charitable giving. That's kind of their, I've summarized Google, but that's what it is. How would you describe it?
No, that's it. That's benevolence. That's it. The sense of, the misericordious. That's why I name one of the church that I'm a part of. It's called Misericordia, meaning the house of mercy. And there is something about that. God is merciful, and God has goodwill. He's not malevolent, but he has goodwill to all people.
Right.
That, to just close my portion with that, the sense that goodwill to all people, and that when you receive goodwill, you extend goodwill. And
right.
That is really what we talk about, being uplifting humanity.
Yes.
And being what a Hope Afire look like, right?
Yes.
Somebody who uplift the cause of humanity. And with more and more time as we chat, then stuff become clearer and clearer.
Yes, that's great. One thing too, when you're saying about when you're caring to others and then you get care back in return. That's not the word you used. What did you just say for?
Well, all I don't know. I'm saying I don't know what I said.
Okay, that's all right. It was
what I just said is that when you receive grace, you give grace. You get goodwill, you give goodwill.
Right.
It's becoming a conduit of goodwill and mercy.
Okay, and do you know what else?
Yeah.
Our Creator made a function in our brain of a neurological connection to encourage. When I give grace, I get grace. When I give love, I get love. Do you know about mirror neurons? Have you heard of this?
No.
Oh man, you and I both have brain activity. When I make you smile, let's say say something that makes you smile, and you smile, I enjoy in my brain the same part my brain lights up as your brain. Mirror neurons. Mm-hmm. And then also that connection that we have, our brain then releases for us all kinds of what do we want to call them? Life affirming fluids, as dopamine and endorphins and encapsulins and all of these different fluids. Some are hormones, some are, there's a whole bunch of different parts to it, right? Oxytocin, right? Oxytocin releases all of these things within your body to affirm, to strengthen those connections, to say, hey, if you do something for somebody else, you feel this. This is good back for you. That's the way we're built, I think.
Wow.
What do you think?
That's quite scientific too.
A little bit.
Okay, this is good. This I think I need to sign out and to go to meet somebody.
Okay.
And pray for them. But I wonder, where do people go? Do you have any article? Do you have any do you have any group, any Facebook group where people can go?
I have nothing, Daniel. I have the conversation you and I are going to have, brother. That's it.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that work. If you want to track all that stuff, that's great. Other than that, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm broadcasting it to my Facebook page, to Jess FM's Facebook page, and to my YouTube channel. That's what I'm doing with it.
Oh, that's what's happening right now. So am I live?
Yeah. You've been live all the time.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm sorry you didn't know that. I wasn't trying to trick you, man.
I tricked you.
Okay, well, here's what. If you want to comment, if you want to encourage, if you want to discourage, that's fine too. You can contact me at this 38humans@gmail.com or that phone number 587-813-6552. You can contact me.
If you want to encourage, you call me and at my number. But if you want to discourage, send it to Alan.
Yeah, the encouragement Daniel will take, the discouragement I'll take. Yeah, that sounds good. So,
that's good. That's okay. He's strong. That's it. That's what Hope Afires do.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's good. And you know what? We can proceed however you want. I think that you and I have a good rapport. I think we can have fun conversations.
That's
And I
what
think
it's all about, you know. That's what
I'll
it's
say
all
that again,
about.
Dave.
I think that's what this is all about.
Yes.
It's about having coffee. It's just having coffee time, you know, and just that's what conversation's all about. And when you meet fellow human, you talk, you take time to listen. You know what? It may be that only one person will come across this and it will transform their lives. That's all that matters. That's
You know what,
all that matters.
Daniel? I wanted to mention to you too. I don't know if I mentioned this to you before. Your book, The All for Nothing Marriage, increased my marriage. The how effective and how happy my marriage is, probably 57%. Your book.
Whoa! Thank
Yes.
you. I said 59.
57. I'm sorry. That's as good as it got. That was a good game, though, man.
Thank you. You're good. You're really good. Thank you. You know what? I just want to say thank you. You are showing up. You know, half of life, half of the effort of life is just show up.
Yes.
Just be present.
Yes.
And let the world deal with it.
And you've stressed this before. Be yourself. Be who you are, right? What do you call it? Selfhood. Make sure that you maintain your selfhood.
Yeah, that's authentic selfhood. And when we just show up and be there, don't worry what the world say or do or don't say. It's their problem. Let them, just like, you know, like the caravan passes, the dogs barks. So you are either the caravan passing and on to purpose, or you are the dog barking. Why is somebody passing into the purpose? I'm on my way to Zion.
Hallelujah.
Well,
Okay.
be preaching some. When I grow up, I'm going to be a preacher.
All right. I'm going to take you off the feed. You're going to go away. I'm going to sing.
All right. No problem then. See you.
All right. Thanks, Daniel.
Okay.
All right. How's about some songs after that very pleasant chat with Brother Daniel? Oh, he's a good man. He's a good man. Okay, we're going to have more of those conversations, I'm thinking. But for right now, how about singing some songs? What did I just sing? Oh, yeah, that Billy Vare song. Oh, that's a beautiful song. But how about, how about If You Believe in Forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If you believe in forever. Oh, excuse me. All right. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, well, you know they got a hell of a band. Band. And Jimmy gave us rainbows, and Janice took a piece of our hearts, and Otis brought us all to the dock of the bay. I sing a song to light my fire. Remember Jim that way. They've all found another place to play. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, well, you know they got a hell of a band. Band. Remember Bad Leroy Brown when Jimmy touched us with that song. And time won't change a friend we came to know. And Bobby gave us Mac the knife. Well, look out, he's back in town. They'll all be here together when they meet in one big show. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, well, you know they got a hell of a band. Band. There's a spotlight waiting no matter who you are, 'cause everybody's got a song to sing. Everyone's a star. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, well, you know they got a hell of a band. Band. That's a fun song. Well, how about a sad song? Let's do a sad song. Oh, excuse me. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cries, 'cause if there's one thing that she don't need, is another little baby child to feed in the ghetto. And people, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand. He'll grow up to be an angry young man someday. Now take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Or do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? As the world turns, a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street where the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns. And he learns how to run the streets at night. And he learns how to steal. And he learns how to fight in the ghetto. And then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun and steals a car. And he tries to run, but he don't get far. And his mama cries. A crowd gathers round an angry young man laying down in the street with a gun in his hand in the ghetto. And as her young man dies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born. And his mama cries. All right. How's about a little Delbert McClinton? She got a roof that don't leak when the rain come pouring down. She got a place I can sleep where I'm safe and sound. She got a lock on her door, oh, but she gave me a key. She don't walk the floor, but Lord, she worries about me. Her love had no strings, her shackles or chains, but I'm holding on for dear life. She like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice. She like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice. Every time I roll, she like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice. She got a big Oldsmobile. She got a dog that don't bite. She got a heart I can steal, just like a thief in the night. She got a slow burning flame. She keeps her radio low. Lord, when she gets inspired, we let the good times roll. Her love had no strings, her shackles or chains, but I'm holding on for dear life. She like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice. She like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice. Every time I roll, she like rolling a 7 every time I roll the dice. All righty. Well, when we believe in forever, mentioned bad Leroy Brown. How about we do a little of that? What's going on there? Oh, I see. Come on. Stop it. There we go. Well, the south side of Chicago is the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. Now, Leroy, more than trouble. You see, he's standing about 6'4". All the downtown ladies call him treetop lover. All the men just call him sir. And it's bad, bad. Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town, badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Now Leroy, he's a gambler, and he likes his fancy clothes, and he likes to wear his diamond rings on everybody's nose. He got a custom Continental, he got a Eldorado too. He got a 32 gun in his pocket for fun. He got a razor in his shoe. And it's mad, bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town, badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Now Friday, about a week ago, Leroy shooting dice. And at the edge of the bar sat a girl named Doris, and ooh, that girl looked nice. Oh, we cast his eyes upon her, and the trouble soon began. And Leroy Brown learned a lesson about messing with the wife of a jealous man. And it's bad, bad. Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town, badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. I said he's badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. Okay, what's that song? Say what needs saying. Pray who needs praying. Bam, 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 till I go an extra mile. What's it called? I'm gonna say what needs saying. Pray what needs praying. Oh, only here for a little while. 'Cause we're only here for a little while. Okay, that's the song I want to find. One-way track. No. Oh, only here for a little while. I think this is Billy Dean song, I think. Let's try it. Gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile. I'm gonna pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. Today I stood singing songs and saying amen, saying goodbye to an old friend who seems so young. He spent his life working hard to chase a dollar, putting off until tomorrow the things he should have done. Made me start thinking, what's the hurry, why the running? I don't like what I'm becoming. Gonna change my style. Take my time and I take my time and I take it all for granted. 'Cause we're only here for a little while. Gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile. Gonna pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. Let me love like I never see tomorrow. Treat each day as though it's borrowed, like it's precious as a child. Won't take my hand, let us reach out to each other, 'cause we're only here for a little while. Gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile. And pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. Gonna hold who needs holding, mend what needs mending, walk what needs walking, though it means an extra mile. Gonna pray what needs praying, say what needs saying, 'cause we're only here for a little while. 'Cause we're only here for a little while. How about a little Only You? That's a pretty song. Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do and fill my world with love for only you. Only you can make this change in me. Lord, it's true. You are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do and fill my world with love for only you. Only you can make this change in me, for it's true. You are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. All right. Put a little love in your heart. I did that yesterday. Maybe we'll do a different one. Oh, you know what? My wife told me that she likes this song Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I wonder if I looked that song up, if I could sing it. What are the lyrics? Hey, Google, play Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Hey, Google, stop playing. Hey, Google, stop playing. Oh, let's try it. I found a love for me. And darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Oh, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. But darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes, you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath. Oh, okay. Ed Sheeran, I apologize. I'm sorry. I butchered that song. That was, yeah. Here, I need to encourage myself, but not much. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to try that another time later. And now try something that I know a little better. I think maybe a little, You Got a Friend. When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am that I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon you hear me knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am that I come running, oh baby, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. Now it ain't to know that you got a friend. You've got a friend. All right. How's about? Oh, a little delayed reaction. The audience was sleeping there. Oh, yeah. Let's do a little Elton John. Where did it go? Where did it go? It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no. Oh man, who makes potions in a traveling show? I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, yeah. This one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof and kicked off the moss. Well, a few of the verses, well, they've got me quite cross now. But the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. Is for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. In a way, the thing is what I really mean. Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. How wonderful life is while you're in the world. All right. I think I'm going to call her good for today. All right. How wonderful life is.